What is up, everybody? Welcome into our first ever here on the new channel live show here on Rising to the Occasion. I'm your host, Josh Mahler, joined as always by my brother and partner in crime, Britton Mahler, and then, of course, that guy over there, Jeremy. What's up, guys? How you guys doing tonight?
Dude, I'm so nervous. We're live now. I was over here jamming out and stuff, and it's like, oh yeah, like let's just go live. Oh, now I'm nervous.
Yeah, we talked about it too during that. Like, you know what? We're cutting the timer down to like 2 minutes because 5 minutes was definitely too long. But
5 minutes felt like an eternity.
yeah, it definitely felt like it was dragging on. But we've got a lot to get into tonight. We have no idea how long we're planning on going with these live shows, and so we're just gonna kind of wing it and go with it. Whatever happens tonight, and then we're gonna keep on going with it. So make sure to tune in with us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 8:30 Eastern. Make sure to tune in with us live. Jump in the live chat. We'd love to get to some live chats. You can watch whether you're watching on X or YouTube. I believe we're live on both of those platforms. If you're watching anywhere other than YouTube, jump over to the YouTube channel. Just search for Rising to the Occasion over on YouTube and hit that like button and subscribe. Help us keep on growing that channel because we lost our original channel. And so we're growing from the ground up and trying to get back to where we were. So go over, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button over on the YouTube channel. But we're going to be getting into a lot of what went on this past weekend. We had UFC 324 going on. We're going to give some rants about some things that we've got to get off our chest tonight. And then, of course, men's basketball had a lot of really fun action, and I know Britton's excited to talk about some men's basketball as well because his Cornhuskers are doing very well. And then, of course, NFL playoffs and Super Bowl preview, getting to all of that tonight. So as you can imagine, we've got a lot to say and not a lot of time to do it. We're going to try to keep our show at a reasonable time, but, of course, start off by hitting that like button. Subscribe, and then of course you can check out everything we do at rising2.com. Follow us on social media as well to keep up with the show and so much more. But I mean, guys, should we let's just go ahead and jump into it. Let's get into first UFC 324, which I thought was really fun. It was definitely a great way to start UFC on Paramount. Started off in the beginning of the new year. And I personally thought that the hype, or that the card lived up to the hype that I know we set out for it, and then also that it was kind of set out by others and the media as well.
Yeah, I just want to start by saying it's been really quiet this whole time we've been sitting here, and we go live, and I have a herd of cattle upstairs running around. So if you guys can hear them, do me a favor and go feed them. The
Dude.
fights this weekend were really, really good though. I mean, we all got together and watched them, and obviously a lot of high anticipation for the fights. The card was loaded. I mean, absolutely loaded. But it's a lot of fun, man. A lot of stuff to dive into. How are you guys giving your grades? Are you guys giving letter grades?
I'll probably give a letter grade for each one.
That's what I
Yeah,
was kind of
yeah,
thinking.
I think
Yeah,
letter grades, but and we'll kind of go through them.
cool.
Yeah, I mean it was just a lot of fun going out there to the Bigfoot Cave, hanging out, and it feels like it's been a while since we got the whole crew together, well, most of the crew, anyways, and got everybody out there to hang out and watch the fights, and it was really really fun too. And I saw somewhere where it was Paramount's biggest exclusive live stream event ever, which isn't saying much because I don't know how many live streaming events they've had that are exclusive, but 5 million people tuned in, which is huge. So
Wow.
that's really awesome. And
That's impressive.
they had a lot of ads, so I imagine they're making their money back off that $7.7
Oh, for
billion
sure,
view,
for sure.
contract. But
Definitely.
all right, Jeremy, we'll start with you. What was your maybe favorite moment or favorite fight of the night? Was what really stuck out to you there in UFC 324?
Like honestly, my favorite fight of the night was, of course, the main card. Watching Justin Gaethje versus Patty the Batty. I mean, everyone was living up to the hype. I mean, it was the main event for a particular reason, but I mean, overall, just before even the fight started, honestly, like to me, just like listening to all the people chant "Oh, Patty the Batty." I mean, like just the fleet of people that were literally saying that the entire time was absolutely. It was incredible just because as much as I did. That gives Patty so much momentum going into the fight. But I mean, then once the doors closes and once the lights actually hit and then the bell rung, it was all war. But just looking at everything throughout that fight, we were all hanging out. Of course, I mean, Justin Gaethje had an early opportunity to ended honestly really early, and we were really surprised. But I mean, you look at like the total strike counts for what I had a chance to look up. It was absolutely crazy. I'll start with Justin Gaethje first. He was 200 for 313 total strikes, averaging almost 64% for total strikes. And you look on the other side for Paddy the Baddy. I mean, he was 170 out of 326, only at 52.1% to be exact. Like it was absolutely crazy to see that kind of a moment. But I mean, there was also some
Don't waste all of your talking points on it, because I know we'll get to it here in just a minute.
Yeah. Shut up, Jeremy.
No, we're gonna get back to it and talk about that fight specifically too. I think that was the easy one. I mean, that was probably the highlight or the fight of the night, I feel like. Did you have a different one, Britton?
No, I mean, that's kind of a trick question. Like it's the main card.
It is, but I mean,
know.
typically you have a better fight like earlier on or something, and like the main card.
The prelims were really good.
Yeah, they were. Everything was solid.
Yeah. It was a very solid. The thing we talked about a lot that night too was, it's a lot more fun watching those fights when it's a lot of stand up and fight versus the wrestling and the grappling. Sometimes these fights can get a little bit boring, and you'll get 2 or 3 fights in a row where it's just a lot of ground game. There's not a lot of action, and it was not like that. I think what was there one fight all night that really went to the ground.
Yeah,
that really predominantly stayed on the ground.
Yeah, I think it was just that Rose Namajunas against. Oh crap! Who did she go against? Silva, right?
Silva.
Yeah, Natalia Silva. I don't know. I almost said, because she was supposed to fight against Alexa Grasso, I believe, and then I got swapped for Natalia Silva. But yeah, that was the only one. And I will say I really liked the Gene Silva against Arnold Allen. I thought that was another fight that was really good.
Great fight.
That was probably my favorite fight if we're not including the Paddy Justin Gaethje, because that one was amazing. And Arnold Allen fought really well in that fight for being off for so long, coming out, and so that was one of them that I thought was really good.
If I had to give another one though, there, just thinking back to it, Miller with a 1 second left on the clock to win $25K.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That's pretty big too.
Yeah, because
literally
it was
a second
huge.
left.
Yeah,
and
so
with the new contract, with $25K for a knockout or submission, I mean, talk about beating the wire.
Yeah, the new structure bonus is set up for performance bonuses. Went from 50,000 up to 100, and then of course 25,000, like you said, $25,000 just for finishing off. And that one, like you said, I think there was like 3 seconds when the ref officially stepped in there, but it was like a second left when they called it. And so I mean, it was a $25,000 difference in just barely in a couple of seconds, or whatever it was, a second or 3 seconds, whatever it was. So yeah, that was pretty awesome too. I think that might win it as like the highlight of the night for sure. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I forgot that one was so close. But all right, let's go through them, just because I did think it was weird too. So I saw Justin Gaethje talking about this new structure with the pay, and he was saying he doesn't get paid any different with the new bonus structure, and I was like, how wouldn't you? I don't really understand that. So because everything's doubled, and so how would you not get paid more? Okay, I mean, I don't know.
I almost wondered if he was referring to the fact that maybe he pays his staff better because of it.
Maybe.
And I didn't watch his entire interview, so he could have been leading into that. And so I'll look more into it. But I saw a clip of him mentioning something about like, yeah, this new deal, like, they were all telling us like how this new deal is going to pay us better, but I'm not getting paid a penny different. And I'm like, how wouldn't you? Because plus, I'm pretty sure, I didn't look it up, but I would imagine they got the fight of the night bonus too. Because him and Paddy, I mean,
was it Paddy at the end called for it, and Dana said he was going to give it to him?
Yeah. I mean, he said, I can finally say this without sounding like a fool, because it really was the best performance of the night, and I don't think it was really, a debate either. That was the best fight. There was other really good ones like we're going to get into, but that was probably the best. But let's start off with our fight grades, and just kind of give out whatever you liked about the fight, and then get into the grades, starting off with the one that we just mentioned, which actually bumps my grade up now that you brought that up, because I forgot about that. Fugit versus Miller. I thought that Ty Miller versus Adam Fugit, that was a really good one. Ended with a TKO. And just really, really fun one. What was it, the Fugit Miller fight that was with a second left?
Yeah, I believe there was a second left.
I just can't
Second
believe that I
left in the first
didn't
round.
write that one down. But yeah, really awesome. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 459 in the first round. So I just typed it up wrong. But yeah, I mean, it was an amazing fight. I was gonna give this one like a B, B to B plus, or about a B plus. But I think I'm gonna give it an A minus overall, just because I mean it deserves the A grade. But yeah, I mean I don't know, that was a really solid fight, and then on top of that, just the fact that you get them down to the ground and you react quickly to end it there, right in the last literally last second. That was a really awesome fight to watch, and well deserved too, and $25,000 extra just for finishing it off.
Yeah, I also gave that an A just because of the finish. Miller's boxing was on display the whole match. It was just a fun fight to watch anyway, and then obviously to pack it off with a 1 second left and calling it with a KO. And obviously this being the first time that you're getting that $25,000 bonus is pretty big too. So I gave that one a grade of an A as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to give it an A. I was kind of on the same fence as you, Josh. I was right on the verge of getting like a B plus, but then after realistically thinking about it, I'm kind of in the same boat. I'm giving it an A. I mean, between Miller and Fugit, I mean, you look at like the total number of strikes and everything, like that doesn't sincerely do the justice just because of how quick it honestly seemed like the fight went. I mean, only having 1 second left on the clock. I mean, time will definitely do justice. But I mean, 25K also does sound pretty good extra in your pocketbook. So I'd have to give this fight an A.
I like
All
to
right.
pronounce it Fugit.
The Umar Nurmagomedov against Dievson Figueiredo. This one I was expecting a lot more exciting, and I thought it felt like what we mentioned. So I forgot this was another one that was kind of boring, a lot of clinch, and this is one that I just felt like was just odd. I don't know. I felt like Umar would have come in and really dominated a little bit more decisively. He dominated, and I think he owned all 3 rounds. It was a unanimous decision, 30-27, but I just didn't feel like he did enough for me to say give him another title shot, which is what I think we talked about when Jeremy and I previewed this fight. And so like I feel like I can't score it too low, but I'm going to give this one a B minus, just because I mean it was dominant. It just wasn't exciting enough or enough firepower for me to be like, okay, Umar Nurmagomedov is going to go and fight for the title now. So good fight, really dominant, just not enough for me to really say much more about it. So B minus.
Yeah, I give this one a C plus. Again, it was just not quite the fight that you expected from Umar. He did enough obviously to win, but it wasn't the fight that you expected. And I think as fans, we go into fights ahead of time expecting something or expecting things to look a certain way. And it just didn't have that feel. It didn't feel like it was a complete domination. It was a clear victory. It's good win, but at the end of the day, it just didn't do enough for me as a fan. And that's how I graded all these fights too, is, we'll get into some other ones later, but it's got to have a feel for me. I go into every one of these fights with expectations on the fighters, an expectation of, this person's going to really, dominate the ground because that's what they're good at. This person's going to box really well. They want this to be this kind of a fight. And this fight just didn't have it for me. Although good enough fight, good enough win, I gave it a C plus.
Yeah, I'm also giving it a B minus, C plus, just kind of in that range. I mean, from what you look at from before the fight even started, like the previews and all the promos that they were doing, everyone was really anticipating this kind of a fight to be an all-out war. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was still a semi-good fight, but it just seemed like, in my perspective, you said it the best, honestly, Britton, from a fan's perspective, it seemed like I'm not trying to sound disrespectful, but the fight to me honestly was kind of a little bit boring. But I mean, still give it a B minus, C plus in that range. I mean, the total strikes and the significant strikes, yeah, that's the numbers to look at. But I was honestly, I was kind of poor with this fight.
Yeah,
Jeremy, you'd be a horrible teacher. I need a C plus or B minus. I need
which one?
I'll give it a C plus.
All right, I agree with your guys' grade a little bit more than mine, but I'm going to stick with my B minus. But like you said too, Britton, it was, like he won. There was no doubt who won. Umar was the winner, But, like if you're going to do that, it needs to be more decisive. I think the way that Khamzat Chimaev that beat Duplessis, I think that was more decisive. That was just him
Sure.
pummeling him to the ground, and there was nothing he could do to get up the entire fight. There wasn't even that much of a dominance, where it was just like, man, like I don't know how you beat this guy. It was just like okay, that was good. You beat him. So yeah, just kind of boring overall. But one that was not boring at all was Gene Silva against Arnold Allen. This is one that, I was really pulling for Arnold Allen just because I like him. But like I was telling you before the fight, when we were previewing it, Jeremy, was just that I don't know if I can put my faith in Arnold Allen having such time off. He's had a lot of injury issues and stuff like that. But coming back in and putting up a competitive round the way that he did, or really all 3 rounds, just really fought really hard. And I thought that Gene Silva showed a lot of extra things, kind of being more versatile the entire match. And it was a really good fight from Gene Silva, but Arnold Allen really showed up. And so this one, I'm gonna give this one a B, just a straight B, because it was a really fun fight, really good fight. It's just, I think in order to put it any higher, I would have needed to see a finish from one of them. But there was 74 strikes from Silva significant strikes compared to Allen's 56. So, and also got, I think it was 4 takedowns. I didn't write it down, but really good fight. So I'm going to give it a B.
Yeah, I actually gave this one an A- just because it met expectations. Again, I judge all of these based on being a fan, right? What I expected to see in the fight. And honestly, Allen came around in the first round. I thought he looked like the better fighter. He looked very prepared for this fight. And obviously it turned as the rounds continued, but I thought both fighters showed up with a clear goal in mind. And honestly, Silva obviously did what he needed to do to finish the fight off, but it led up to my expectations. It was 2 guys that fought a very good fight. Neither one of them gave up. Neither one of them, let something dictate how the entire fight was going to go. It was 2 guys battling it out to the end, and that's what I like to see as a fan.
Yeah, overall, you look at Arnold Allen, you gotta give the man a lot of credit for, like you said, Josh, for battling through the adversity of what he's faced in his career and being able to come out and fight Gene Silva the way that he did. You got to give him a lot of respect and credit for what he did for that fight. First round, I agree with you, Britton. You took the words literally right out of my mouth. Arnold Allen literally looked like the better competitor for that fight in particular. But as time progressed overall, Gene Silva just knew how to get the job done. So I give this one an A- for an overall really, really good fight. These guys both put on a heck of a show for the fans and everyone watching on Paramount Plus. So I give it an A-, and it was a really good showing.
It was really
astronomical.
solid. Yeah.
Astronomical.
Yeah, it was really solid. And another one that I was really excited to watch was a fight that was between 2 women that were going to be able to. It was an eliminator fight, is what this was. As whoever wins gets to go and fight for the title. And it really felt like Rose Namajunas coming into it. She was an underdog on the sports books, but it just felt like there was everything in her favor. And throughout the whole fight, it felt like, man, this was really close, but it felt pretty obvious that Rose Namajunas won. Super controversial. I think the fight itself was kind of like I don't know, I want to say like a C+ for the fight itself, but if my overall grade, because of how the decision came down, I give it like a C-, D+, just because I'm going to say D+ on the decision, but I'll give the fight itself an even C, I'll say, just because it didn't really feel like, again, this was another one where even if Rose Namajunas would have gotten the decision the way I felt it should have been, it wasn't really decisive enough to be like, oh, that's a champ right there. And I don't think the winner is going to beat Shevchenko based off that performance. So I'll give it a C, but because of the controversial decision, it feels like that decision deserves a D+.
Yeah, I gave it a D-. Like as a fight overall,
just not a fun fight.
It didn't live up to it wasn't fun to watch. It just wasn't a fun fight to watch, period. I also disagree. I think Silva won that fight. I thought she did fight better. So I was fine with the decision, but man, it was just a bad fight. I want to see, especially when you have a fight that leads to something so great for the winner. I want to see people really pouring their heart out. Like, how long have you trained for this moment? How much time and energy and resources have you put into this fight? And to come out and both girls to fight like this, it just didn't have the wow factor for me. It was a very boring fight to watch. It was, in my opinion, the worst fight of the night. Um, and so, yeah, I'll go with like a D minus.
I was thinking honestly a D, maybe a D plus, just because. I mean, you look at both Silva and Namajunas when the very first sound went, they were ready to go, but it just seemed like no one wanted to pull the trigger and just really attack their opponent. Like, I was really expecting more of a boxing style kind of a match, or just something along the lines we were going to get some takedowns here, but it honestly really wasn't a really good fight. And I had to agree with you, Britt. But I honestly give it a D plus at the most. Just
If they were
it just
both like
wasn't
on their
exciting.
yeah, if they were both like on their menstrual cycle during that fight and really amped up,
I mean, I wasn't going to go that way. I was going to say maybe
Oh
more
my
like
gosh!
if you would have seen some sort of domination from one or the other. But I mean, it was controversial, and I think it's controversial because you do have an argument for either side. It really
Yeah.
was just. It felt like, like you mentioned, Britton. It just didn't feel like there was any heart put into the fight.
not at
But
all.
let's skip the next one we have. Let's just go straight to the Sean O'Malley against Song Yadong. Take a drink.
Yeah,
Anyways, no,
that was the
that
thing.
was
Yeah.
that was the drinking part of the drinking game when Britain was
But
the
how
only
many
one
times do you think?
participating.
How many times do you think he would have drank? They said his full name more than I've ever heard any fighter's full name been mentioned
Yeah,
ever.
you
I
would
lost
have been
track after 50.
you would have been
Yeah,
drunker than if I would have played my drinking game. That's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. Now this, yeah. Go ahead,
I,
get into this one.
Yeah, I mean, I was really excited for this one. I thought this was a really good matchup between the two, and it felt like, Sean O'Malley has a lot to prove coming into it. I felt like he was going to win, and I felt like he was going to win really decisively. But he won, and I believe he won, and it is controversial, I think, because we were talking about it, and I can see it going either way. I really can. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if I give round one to Sean, although to me it felt like it did slightly lean Sean, but not much. And he ended up winning unanimous decision. I think it was 29-28, 29-28,
That
29-28.
sounds right.
Yeah, I think so. Right.
So just really sloppy. It just didn't feel like either of them were really landing. So I felt like Song Yadong, take a drink, wasn't he. I don't know. He wasn't connecting with hardly any of his shots, and Sugar Sean just wasn't really going all in. Like, it didn't ever feel like he set something up for some sort of combination, following it up. He never followed up with anything. So I don't think I do think that Sean O'Malley won the fight. I don't think he deserves a shot at Peter Yan right now. Not after that fight.
Not a chance.
Yeah,
No.
He
I agree.
needs to prove it. He needs to prove it in a really big fashion right now, just because it didn't feel good against Song Yadong, who I felt like he should have been able to handle much better if he was in his prime. Song Yadong, all the credit in the world to him, but just didn't feel like it was that good. I'm gonna give it a C, but I just it wasn't a good fight really. It was
Yeah.
fun. It just wasn't a good performance.
See, and you mentioned that it's controversial. I thought Song won the fight. And to me, it felt like Sean didn't do enough to win that fight in the first round. And so based on that first round that they obviously gave to Sean, that's where I disagreed with it.
And I
This
see it
was
too.
this was
I see where you're
this
coming
is
from.
Sean O'Malley. This is, one of the faces of the UFC.
If you are what you
That's such a
say you
horrible
are.
performance. He looked just piss poor all night. He didn't
Yeah.
look like himself. There was no flash. There was no heart. Just like we talked about earlier. Like, this is a fight that, as a fans, we deserve you to show up to this fight and give it your all. And it just felt like Sean the entire time. Now, he got his legs taken out a lot, which might have
Big
impacted
time.
some, right? He's
Well,
had
and
leg injuries before. He got his legs beat to crap. So maybe that takes some caution to the wind there. And he's like, I can't just throw caution to the wind and just go in. I got to be very careful. Maybe there's some of that because Song did a really good job early, working on those legs. Honestly, I think if Song continues working on those legs in the third round, I think Song wins this fight, like clearly. But he just completely went away from the leg shots in the third round, which no idea why. Like his corner had to have been yelling at him, like work the legs. You could see Sean's legs beat up. You could see him switching to southpaw, and he was not comfortable on his legs in the first 2 rounds. And I think that's probably what played a factor into this. But man, Sean just didn't show up to give the show, sugar show. That's what we're waiting to see, and we didn't see that.
I think late in the third round was when you saw the sugar show that we expected to show up. Late third round,
because his legs were not a factor anymore. Like you didn't connect any shots with legs anymore. Like that was your bread and butter. The first 2 rounds, you could visibly see Sean upset and agitated at that. He was not liking those leg shots. He didn't like that at all, and you completely went away from it in the third round. No, that makes 0 sense to me. 0.
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the B plus, Brad. Like I overall give D plus. Okay, I mean, I honestly give it a C, to be completely honest with you. Everyone had the big hype. I know, Josh, you and I talked about Sugar Sean O'Malley. I mean, this is the kind of moment to where if he were to lose this fight, and we were even talking about this out in the cave, that if he were to lose this fight, there's going to be a lot of controversy saying that Sugar Sean O'Malley might want to be hanging up the gloves here. But, I mean, it definitely was a real big surprise just because of how much of a beating that Sugar Sean's legs did take, and him have to resort to just trying to, I wouldn't want to say survive and win, but I mean, but that's just realistic what it came down to. I mean, both Song Yadong and Sean O'Malley, don't forget to drink. They both each got some really good licks in, but I mean, it just wasn't really honestly what I was expecting out of Sugar Sean, because I was pulling for Sean O'Malley, but I was expecting it to be a lot more, I wouldn't say of a technical fight, but just a more of a just all-out straight physical fight for Sean O'Malley, just because of a lot of what that he's had to endure over the time since his last fight, I should say. I mean, it was definitely a big-time moment for Sugar Sean to get his name back up there, but that's not the typical Sugar Sean O'Malley fight that I'm used to seeing, so I give it a C.
Yeah,
Sean's a cuck.
It felt like the Sean O'Malley of the first Merab fight. That's what it felt like to me. Just
that's a good reference.
Not enough heart and will. Like he seemed nervous to get in there, and then finally third round, maybe he finally felt like I've got to do something and went in. But anyways, the fight of the night easily. Patty the Batty Pimblett against Justin the Highlight Gaethje. What was definitely a really fun fight. And I will say this: I respect Patty Pimblett for sticking to his game plan. I just think it was ridiculously stupid against specifically against Justin Gaethje. Just a stupid game plan. You can knock out a lot of guys in your weight division. Justin Gaethje is not one of them you want to stand and box with. He's got hammer fists, and I just felt like if Patty watches that back, I think his team says, "Why didn't we go to the ground? We should have just gone to the ground." Even Dana said it in the press conference afterwards. He was really surprised. He knows that Patty said all week that he was going to knock him out, which is a fun game plan. You want that, you want to make it exciting. But let's just be real about it. When you're losing, I would say after the third round, when you probably should have implemented it even sooner. But at the latest, after round 3, when you're down 2-1, you know what? You probably need to switch it up, because you just owned him in round 3 and got him really close and still couldn't do it. So just go to the ground. Outside of that, though, a really fun one. And I felt like Justin Gaethje just completely crunched his face, crunched Patty's face in like a potato chip. It was really fun. And hats off to both of them. A really good fight from both of them. Both of them had an opportunity to win it. I'm going to give this one an A. Fight of the year, by the way.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Definitely.
100%. I don't disagree. I'm going to give this one an A as well. This lived up to the hype. So when I look at this fight, I see Patty as this young up and coming guy, right? And the problem is that he's young. So he made his rookie mistake and he made it that night, and it was crucial because as a rookie, that's what you do. You say, "I'm going to knock this guy out." You say that publicly, you speak it into existence, and you live and die by it. And he died by it, right?
Hmm.
The professionals, when they get older, they've all made those mistakes. I want to show everybody. I want to show everybody in the world that I can knock this guy out. You can't. What you're really good at is the ground game. How about we work the ground game? But he stuck to what he had to say. I'm gonna knock him out. Stuck to that, and it cost him. Patty won't make that mistake again. Patty will come back stronger and wiser from it, and he'll have a long career, a successful career, because he's a great fighter. Um, but man, Justin Gaethje did exactly what he needed to do. And when there was a couple moments, I think even in the first round, where he clocked him good, gets him on the ground, and he's hitting him, and he just gets up, and we're like, whoa, what are we doing? Like, how many shots you could take on the ground there? Like, how much damage could be done? And you just like get up and let Patty stand up. Like, man, this might cost you the fight. And it didn't, luckily. But Justin played to his strengths. Patty did not, because Patty's young and dumb. He's trying to do the world a favor and show us all that you're this great boxer. Give it to him. He's got a tough chin. I mean, he took a beating. I don't know many guys that could stand in there and take that from a guy like Justin Gaethje. But at the end of the night, Justin did what he was supposed to. He played his game. Patty did not. Patty will learn. He'll get better and he'll move on. So I'll give this one
Yeah,
an A. It's a great fight.
yeah, yeah. I gotta get the same about. I gotta give it an A, like I was going off earlier. But I mean, just that's the biggest part that really surprised me about this entire fight for Justin Gaethje letting Patty the Batty up when he was over in the corner. Like we were all just like jaw dropped. Like, what are you doing? Like this is a really big time, crucial moment to where you can end this fight early, or you can honestly shoot yourself in the foot if it came down to the situation if he were to lose. But I mean, Justin Gaethje is an all-out dog. I mean, he just finds a way with the stiff chin and just knows how to fight. I mean, there's a reason why he was a BMF. I mean, it just came down to the situation to where to me, it seemed like Patty, like especially for his intro. I mean, yeah, it was really cool to see people singing "Oh, Patty the Batty," but I mean, like, and just even like seeing the fleet of people, yeah, just seeing the fleet of people just literally singing that along with them. I mean, it was definitely crazy.
That was
But
awesome. A
I
lot of
mean, to
scousers in the
me,
house.
oh, there was 100% scousers in that house that
Did,
entire
did you
fight.
see what when they asked him how much? They're like, man, that must have cost you like $100,000. He's like, more than that. Try like 130 or 140.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was. I mean, it's
yeah,
close to $5,000 a ticket.
Why he wanted that fight of the night.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
No
he
kidding.
needed it.
He's got to make some money back some way somehow. But I mean, still for overall for the fight of the night, I mean, I still got to give it an A. It was an unbelievable performance between both Justin Gaethje and Patty. So tip of the cap to both of them. I know that Patty's going to be coming back with a vengeance. Whoever he faces next, then Justin Gaethje is just going to keep marching on. And he's going to do whatever he can to try and get another belt.
3
Yeah.
slipped in words in the first topic. That's good.
Yeah, for those of you who are watching too, there's hidden words all put in. Did Jeremy use his already?
Yeah, he just did.
Okay, I
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, I didn't even
Actually,
catch
It
it.
was
Nice.
so, it was so smooth.
Yeah,
You
it
didn't
was so
notice.
it was so smooth. I didn't even notice. But we're every episode we're gonna slip in, every live episode we're gonna slip in a word for each of us, and you guys have to put it down in the comments what those words were. So,
So you'll have to
anyways,
explain it better. Like, so I picked out a random word that makes no sense, has nothing to do with the show. And I gave a word to Josh, and he gave a word to Jeremy, and Jeremy gave a word to me, and you just have to go with it.
yeah, I mean it was. I think Britton used his multiple too. So that'll be your hint for
Yeah.
Britton's.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Rapid Rants. This is a segment. Britton, you were the one that came up with it, so I'm going to have you go first, but we're just going to pick a topic that we can rant about. It can be a happy, excited rant. It can be an angry, pissed off rant. It can be a rant that is just stupid and makes no sense at all. It doesn't matter. It just has to be a rant, and you got 60 seconds to give it. That's why it's rapid. and we're going to let Britton go with it first since he's the one that came up with it. Britton,
All right.
give us your rapid
pissed
rant.
off and ready to go. Okay,
Here
so
we go.
today, I read this thing that Dabo Swinney comes out and he calls out the Ole Miss head coach, right, Pete Golding. He calls him out because he's texting his freaking players at an 8 a.m. class in school saying, hey, I know you already committed. I know you're already taking classes at this school, but what can I do what's the dollar amount to get you over here? What the hell are we doing? Like, is this where we're going, where we can poach players? Like, this isn't even, like the tampering, right? Dabo Swinney called it out. He's like, there's tampering 101, there's tampering 201, there's tampering. Like, we're getting so far beyond, a measure of this is just pissing me off. Like, what are we doing? We're doing nothing about it. Like, we're calling out coaches. We're writing into the NCAA and saying, what the hell? Like, fix this. Quit contacting players and people when they're already committed to a school. Like, how is this okay and how is this allowed to continue? This is bullshit. Fix it. That was 60 seconds.
That was perfectly on 60 seconds too. Perfectly on. Yeah, I agree with you.
Stupid.
I mean, I think it's ridiculous. I've heard too many arguments for like, well, there's no way to really fix it because players are going to communicate with their friends. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you crack down on it unless you just start to take it into your own hands like Dabo did and just call them out. Get somebody to do something about it. It's going to take more of that. And once you start to get some of the proof, though, I do think it can be cracked down, and I think it needs to. I agree with you.
NCAA's got to get their shit together quick.
Definitely.
All right. Jeremy, you want to go first or you want me to?
I'll go first. Why not? But
all right, go for
You'll
it.
go second.
I mean, looking, whatever you want to say, but I mean,
we'll restart his timer.
Yeah, we'll restart my timer. But I mean, I'm not going to be going off of like what Britton was going off of, but I mean, for me, looking more into positive vibes. I mean, you look at the Utah Mammoths, what they've been able to do in the NHL. I mean, you look at a lot of these teams that have been around the league for what feels like an eternity and forever, but the Utah Mammoths are on a franchise record hot streak as of late. They're securing points in the 9 consecutive games and winning 5 straight, including a 5-2 victory over a really, really good Nashville Predators team on the 24th, so 2 days ago. To stop and think. I mean, the team's gone 8-2 on their last 10 games. I mean, it's largely driven by consistent goaltending from Karel Vomeka. I mean, it's literally been a big key offensive contribution from Clayton Keller as well. I mean, just looking at record streaks, I mean, the team's literally set a franchise record for earnings at least 1 point in 9 consecutive games as of January 24th. I mean, you look at also some big-time key attributions. I mean, just looking at some of the players, I mean, having Clayton Keller having 16 goals, 34 assists, Nick Schmaltz having 18 goals.
I didn't realize we got to cut him off.
Yeah, you should give Jeremy like 60 minutes.
Yeah,
yeah.
I guess we're gonna give him. We're gonna give him 5-minute rant.
I was still thinking it was 90 seconds, but then I stopped. I'm like, oh crap, it's 60 seconds. I need to break this down even more.
I just got
you even had the timer on the screen. I was just busy coughing, so I had to make sure I muted my mic.
From people watching the show right now, they say, "Can you tell that guy to shut up?"
My bad. Okay.
So give a quick 5-second gist of what you mean with your rant.
My 5-second minutes, just Utah Mammoths, watch out because this is a new team that's going to be upcoming and rising. I'm
interested to see what they do. I'm glad that Utah finally has a team, and I do like the Mammoths better than just hockey clubs. So, pretty cool.
Are they going to pull a similar story to what they did in Las Vegas?
No, I mean, so this is their second year. I mean, it could be similar.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did with how they're coming up right now.
Yeah, possibly. I can see it. Because Vegas did it in their first year, didn't they? It was like the very first year that they were about, I believe.
First or second?
I thought it was the first.
Second year.
Was it the second?
I believe. So, yeah. If memory serves correct, it's their second year. I mean, you look at what Utah did in last year, only being 30-31. Now I can look at them this year. They're sitting at 27-20 with only 51 games played. I mean, they still have a good chunk of games left, but they can definitely become a really, really top dog. But they have a really, really tough conference.
All right. I'll start my timer because you know what really chaps my ass? You want to know? Something that irritates me. And no, this is something serious too that just happens constantly is we take something super enjoyable, something that we all love, like sports, Take the NFL, for example. I think this is a perfect example because we want to make things political or make it some sort of statement rather than just letting sports be sports. We get on here and talk sports because you know what we like to do? We like to talk sports. Do we get on here and talk political? No, because you know why? We don't care. That's why we go to sports, to get away from all of the BS out in the outside world. The NFL is having Bad Bunny come onto the Super Bowl. I don't care. Let him perform. If he's gonna play music during the halftime of the Super Bowl, let it be so. But now he wants to come out and make a political show out of his whole halftime show. Let's stop putting political stuff into our sports. Why does it have to be there? Just let sports be sports. That's it. Man, Britton and I are pretty good, right down to the wire.
If we have any listeners right now that have any kind of a remedy for chapped ass, please get a hold of us.
It really chaps my ass.
In particular, Josh.
I tell you what. But no, I really do. I hate putting like any kind of message. I mean, let's just have fun and play sports. If you want to do something good, like charity work with it, sure. But I mean, I don't think what we're putting into sports, and it's not just the NFL, it's just all sports in general.
Just know your role and shut your mouth, honestly. Just let it be.
It's funny, like when I'm on this is a side note, I feel like my hat's always like to a side, even though it's not. So I'm like turning my head. I'm like,
does that really chap your ass?
Really chaps my ass.
All right. Well, I know what doesn't chap Britton's ass, and that is men's basketball this year. But before we get into it, just a quick word from our sponsors over at All Hockey Sticks.
Today's episode is brought to you by All Hockey Sticks. All Hockey Sticks is a hockey stick company built by a former player with one mission: deliver elite performance at an honest price. Designed for quick release and consistent feel, All Hockey Sticks gives players pro quality level without the inflated costs. Starting at $179 for seniors and $139 for juniors. All hockey, all the time. Make sure to go to allhockeysticks.com and use code RISING for 15% off. Again, that's code RISING, RISING, for 15% off.
You know what else chaps my ass? Expensive hockey sticks. Go over to allhockeysticks.com. Use code RISING for 15% off. Pretty cool stuff. We're about to be able to get ours in. So hopefully they hurry up. They're sending us some, and we're going to let Britton's son be the test. Waylon's going to go on the ice and test him out. No, I'm excited to get them, but
I
go
forgot
check
to
it out.
send you a video. I was playing hockey with Waylon earlier, and we went to the Musketeers game this past weekend, and he likes for me to be the goalie. So he shoots it, and I let him score. He says, "You suck." Hey goalie, you suck.
That's awesome.
The whole ride home yesterday, the entire ride home, like just out of the blue, he starts going, Hey, what do you say? Let's go Muskies.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, let's get into men's basketball. Britton, your team has been doing really well. Let's start off. I didn't even realize I put them at the top. Let's start off with Nebraska versus Minnesota, because I think, and I know you were going to make this your rant, or you had it as one of the possibilities of making your rant. But I do think that Nebraska is just completely being overlooked, because I have heard a lot. So a lot of times at work, I'm working and I'll just be listening to a podcast, and I like to listen to all different types of podcasts, different sports, all that kind of stuff. Just listen, hear what's going on, especially it's stuff that I don't pay as close attention to. And I don't ever hear anyone bringing up Nebraska and how dominant they've been this season. Sitting there at 20-0 now, 9-0 in the Big Ten, and just beat Minnesota and handedly at that. And they've been handling business nonstop, and they're doing it in just a really good fashion. They're about to play Michigan here. Is it this week?
Tomorrow night.
Yeah, tomorrow night. So that will be the first like really big test. They've had other decent tests.
That's not even true though, man.
I'm saying that'll be the biggest. I mean, Illinois, sure. They beat Illinois, who just beat number 4 Purdue, which we're going to talk about in just a second. No, they are really just really dominant, and they were forcing Purdue to make bad shots because they were like 0 for 11 from 3-point range. And I don't know. I feel like Nebraska needs more recognition. They are ranked number 5, so they jumped up 2 spots. But I mean it's. I don't know. I feel like they definitely need more recognition. And before I let you go too, it's the matched the program's best conference start, which was 9-0 since 1965 and 66 season.
Yeah, and it's the highest ranking ever in the program history.
Oh, really?
I think before it was 8.
Well, Indiana
back to
wins
back.
a football national championship, and Nebraska is undefeated at 20-0. Like, what world are we living in?
Yeah, no joke. The thing about Nebraska, and they beat Minnesota, by the way, this needs to be very clear. They beat Minnesota on the road without Brendan Frager, one of their best players, who was a game time decision for tomorrow night. But Nebraska, the thing about Nebraska is they don't have a team that has better athletes or better shooters or better defenders than anybody. They don't have the best players. They just don't. They are built very similar to Indiana football. They don't have the best players in the country, but they have a team that plays super, super, super well together. And for Nebraska, the key to success for them this season so far has been, just the halftime adjustment. So they were down by 6 at half on the road at Minnesota. And I'm sitting there watching it, and Dad's like, "Oh man, he doesn't watch a lot of Nebraska basketball." He's like, "Oh, first basketball game I'm going to watch, and they're going to lose." And I said, "Dude, second half, like just wait, because Fred Hoiberg is
Shut your
so
face.
good." Yeah, Fred Hoiberg is so good at making the second half adjustments, and that's what they've done all year. They've come back from behind several times. They've also Michigan, their one loss this year. Guess what? Is to Wisconsin. Nebraska beat Wisconsin by 30 points. So everybody's writing Nebraska off. I think they're like 11 and a half point underdog now. It's gone up again, which whatever. Don't get me wrong. Michigan is really, really, really good. This could be Nebraska's first loss for sure, but don't count Nebraska out, because every time somebody has, they've come back and won. They beat Illinois on the road. Anytime you can do that, that's a huge win. They beat Michigan State, who's a really, really good team. They obviously went on the road and were down by 16 points in the first half to Indiana and came back and won. I think by, I want to say close to 10 points. So this team doesn't give up. This team is built with a bunch of players that have a really good chemistry, and they have a really good game plan. They're very active. Doesn't matter how much time's on the clock or what the score is. This team just plays basketball the right way. And that's going to continue the rest of the season, because they're built like Indiana football, because they're built by, the leadership of a bunch of veteran players. And that's super key for this team, because they have the chemistry and they have the players that have been there and done that. They get Jamarcus Lawrence back. He actually transferred from Nebraska and played somewhere else last year and comes back into the program this year. And he already knew Fred's system, and he fit in perfect. He's actually the one that hit the game-winning three-pointer to beat Illinois on the road, to really open the eyes of the country. But I don't see how Nebraska is not ranked number 2 in the country right now. I get it. It's the view from the national media that says, well, Nebraska's not a basketball school. They never have been. This is a fluke. But eventually at 20-0, you got to start to realize this is a really damn good team. So,
well, and you brought up the being underdogs, 11-point underdogs too, and I was looking it up. So they're 10.5-point underdogs now. And just for comparison, because Oklahoma's not doing well at all right now, they're a bad team. They're going against number 15 Arkansas, and they're only a 2.5-point underdog.
yeah, it's a national media.
Wow.
Yeah, that's insane. So I mean, yeah, just that just kind of proves to you how overlooked Nebraska is right now. But there's someone in the chat. They said, how long has Nebraska had their current coach? That was since 2019. So this is year 7 for Hoiberg, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So it's just incredible to see them turn around. And like you mentioned too, Britton, there was a point where Hoiberg was on a really hot seat. And to turn this program around, where we have Indiana winning a football national championship and Nebraska arguably one of the top 3 teams in the nation, and
and
one
that's
of
the thing
3 undefeated teams right now too. Number 1 Arizona, Nebraska, and then you've got is it Miami, Ohio?
Miami of Ohio.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I don't take anything from it. If I don't care who you play, like going undefeated, especially this deep in the season, is impressive. But like I understand the hesitance on ranking, Miami of Ohio super high because of the competition, the level of play that they've had. But Nebraska's shown up. I don't care. Like they play in the Big Ten, right? It's one of the best conferences in the entire country. If not, I think it's the best conference in basketball right now in the country this year.
Yeah, I would say them or the Big East. I mean,
you're beating in Indiana on the road. You're beating Ohio State on the road. you're beating Michigan State, you're beating Illinois on the road. Like they beat Creighton, and at the time I was hoping. Usually Creighton's a good team, so I was hoping that would amount to something. They beat New Mexico. Like they've beaten teams, and they've gone out there. They handled Wisconsin by 30 points. Like I said, I mean, this team has found ways to win. It doesn't always look pretty, but it's an old veteran team that just finds ways to win. It's 20-0, man. Like it's time to start respecting what Nebraska is doing and what Coach Hoiberg has done this year. He should 100% be right in the conversation for Coach of the Year, regardless of what happens. Because I don't see a scenario in which Nebraska just goes on a terrible losing streak. Now they could lose the next 3 out of the 4 games. They've got a really, really tough stretch coming up. They could, come away with some losses here, but at the end of the year, they're still going to be ranked. They're going into, playing for March Madness, see if they can get past the first round, which I assume that they will this year. First time in program history. Fred needs to be talked about as Coach of the Year for sure.
Yeah.
Was that another 60-second rant?
Yeah.
60 second or 60 minute?
Yeah.
No, but I mean, just looking at what Nebraska's been capable of doing, with them not getting the recognition that they're doing is honestly a big time slap to the face for a lot of Nebraska fans. Just you said a lot of the games I was going to bring up. I mean, Creighton obviously being a big time basketball school when it comes to March, then Ohio State, then Michigan State, then the big one like you and I've talked about before, Britton, against Wisconsin, being able to beat Wisconsin Badgers team, especially by 30. That's a real big time movement for the state of Nebraska and just the men's basketball team. I mean, they do have a really good next couple of games. I'm really looking forward to seeing them going up against Michigan, because I know you were talking about that just a moment ago, Josh. But I mean, Michigan is just one of those teams to where it seems like no matter what sport that you see them playing against, they're always going to be a big time dominant team. But I mean, Michigan definitely does have their work cut out for them, especially against a really tough team like Nebraska. But I mean, when it comes down to crunch time, especially when it gets closer to March, these guys are going to keep even playing more harder and physical. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not that they're doing it now, because I mean, you look at the record, that says one thing. But I mean, just Nebraska has just been in such a, I wouldn't say a drought, but I mean, just compared to what it has been a while ago compared to what it has been now, and just being able to see what Nebraska has put up to the table, they have been absolutely lights out every single night. But obviously, I know, like you mentioned, that their big time key player is a last minute decision, game time decision for being able to play against Michigan tomorrow. But I hope he can play, because he's definitely a big time attribution to that Nebraska basketball team. But only time will tell, and we can just see what happens here.
Well, and I think people forget that like Nebraska didn't even make the Big Ten tournament last year, and they had it was the first year that they did the Crown over in Vegas, and Nebraska went undefeated in that and won the whole thing, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you're champs! Like congratulations, you won this nobody thing." And it's like that's not what this is about. This is about a team that said this is for nothing. This doesn't really matter.
Why do we have it then? If we're not gonna acknowledge it, then why do we even have it? But not only that, but there was a lot of teams that were arguably snubbed last year too. So
correct.
There was a ton of teams to try to cram into that field of 64. But another really big game, one that was quite shocking, and another one that really adds to Nebraska's resume overall, was Illinois, who I kept on kind of writing off early in the season, but they just keep on proving me wrong. But they end up upsetting Purdue 88-82, and I think they remained at number 11, but Purdue dropped to number 12. So it was a huge shift. And the huge one was from the freshman Keaton Wagler, who went for 46 points and shot 9 3-pointers, which was an Illinois all-time Illinois record. So that was pretty awesome to see, and really good win for Illinois. Like I said, really proves me wrong, and I think solidifies how good Illinois is, which then again you can say even solidifies Nebraska's resume even more.
Honestly, I predicted at the beginning of the year that Illinois had a chance to win it all this year because they're so good and they're so deep, and I still feel that way. Like I still feel like this Illinois team, if I saw them in the Final Four, I would not be surprised. Like this Illinois team is legit good. But you could say that about, You could say that about Purdue. You could say that about Michigan. You could say that about Michigan State. And you could say that about a lot of these Big Ten teams. But Illinois is, I mean, even after the loss to Nebraska, I was like, Nebraska played phenomenal that night. I mean, came back and obviously hit. I think they were down by 1 or 2 points. I can't remember.
It was a 2 or 3 actually.
They weren't down by 3 because they hit a buzzer beater. Jamarcus Lawrence hit a buzzer beater to win it. But I'm pretty sure they were down by 2 maybe and could have tied the game up. Sam Holberg drives in the paint, kicks it out to Jamarcus Lawrence for the 3. But regardless, even after that game, I still felt like, I watched Illinois the rest of the year, and I was like, man, Nebraska beat a really, really, really good Illinois team. This Illinois team's capable of a lot. Like I said, I won't be shocked if they're in the conversation for towards the end of the year, for the championship for sure.
Yeah, well, and I was wrong too. Illinois jumped up to number 9, so moving up.
That's really good for them jumping up to number 9. But I mean, Illinois, the final line now, hey, you gotta give credit where credit is due here. But I mean, Illinois, we've always known them for being a really, really dominant basketball school. Then Purdue, with what did you say Purdue jumped to, Josh? I know they were originally
they dropped all the way down to they dropped down to 12. I think I was looking at the wrong poll earlier when I was putting these down. But yeah, they jumped to 12. I just pulled it up because I saw another one that I know I typed wrong, but
yeah. But I mean, still, just so you think about it, it's crazy how much they can definitely drop. I mean, originally being at number 4, then having one loss, or not one loss, I should say, but the previous loss, I should say, drop them all the way down to that is definitely astronomical. But I mean, it's definitely crazy to think. But this is definitely going to be a really, really good battle. I mean, Purdue is definitely going to be trying to get back in the swing of things against Illinois. I mean, Illinois always comes out hard, heavy. They always know how to bring the ball to the bucket and just get everything going here. But I mean, this is definitely going to be another really, really fun match between these two teams. But I think it's going to come down really close to the last crunch time, the last about 3 minutes, to where we can decide who's going to be the victor and who's going to be going home to the locker room and thinking, what the heck did we really do to deserve to lose this game? But I mean, only time will tell. We can see.
Yeah, my prediction: the Big Ten will have a champion this year. The champion will come from the Big Ten.
I can see that.
So deep.
Yeah, I don't think that's far-fetched. I mean, I'm looking at the rankings right now. You got Michigan at number 3, Nebraska at number 5, Michigan State at number 7, Illinois at number 9, and then Purdue down at number 12. That's all within the top 15. So you got 5 teams.
Again, they're like going back to our point earlier. Nebraska beat 2 top 10 teams this year. So like the narrative that, they haven't played anybody yet. Like, come on, guys, let's wake up.
Yeah, I mean, Nebraska sucks. Let's just jump on the bandwagon.
Yeah.
All right. Another upset, if you will. You had Texas Tech take down Houston this past weekend. Houston was ranked number 6, and Texas Tech was number 12. Houston jumps down to number 10, and Texas Tech jumped up to number 11. So make sense how you can jump right next to the team and still be below them that you just beat. Anyways, it was a pretty fun game. I went back, was watching a little bit of this one, and just really tight the whole way through. JT Toppin is just a really phenomenal player. Posted 31 points, 12 rebounds for his 44th career double-double.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's insane. So Red Raiders are now sitting at 17-3, 6-1 in the Big 12, and looking really good moving forward. Happy for them to see them jump up. I just think that they should be in the top 10.
I think that they could. I think that they have a really good chance of winning the Big 12 this year.
Big 12's tough too. I think Big 10, Big 12. I mean, that seems to be the toughest 2 conferences, because you've also got Arizona, Houston, Texas Tech, all right there in the top 11. And then you got BYU at 13 and Kansas down at 14. So
something
Big 10, Big 12.
Wonder, like, obviously, I guess I forgot about Arizona being in the Big 12.
Yeah, it's new.
I forgot about that. So I take everything I just said back, because Arizona's legit.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at, I mean, I would put Nebraska. I understand why they're ranked below UConn, Arizona. Michigan. Man, Duke only has 1 loss too, and I don't know.
Yeah, but who was Duke's loss to?
I'll look it up right now. I remember watching it.
While he looks that up, I'll sing you guys a song. I'm just kidding.
They lost to Texas Tech. Respectable loss.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nebraska hasn't
respectable
lost
loss.
anybody, but whatever.
Well, I mean, it's not just all about your record, though. Duke's played some really good competition down the stretch, too. They played Florida early in the season. They played Michigan State and beat Michigan State. They lost by 1 point to Texas Tech. They played Georgia Tech. The ACC's tough. They beat Louisville by 11 points. They beat SMU. Yeah, I mean they've had a pretty tough schedule too. So I can understand the three being ranked ahead of Nebraska. I agree with you. I think Nebraska has kind of proven to be number 2, but Arizona though is a really tough game. They're actually playing right now against BYU, I believe. Yeah,
I hope BYU is winning.
It's 2020.
I need to tune into that one because that would put Nebraska going into tomorrow as the only one of 2 teams.
Undefeated. Well, yeah, 2.
Because Miami, Ohio is not going to lose for a while. I don't think. They don't have the schedule. Doesn't look too daunting.
Yeah, so Arizona did have a really big win this past weekend against West Virginia too. Winning 88-53, really big. I don't think there's any doubt. I think Arizona deserves number 1.
No, for sure. Yeah, I give it to them.
Definitely.
Yeah, and so I mean, sitting there 20-0, 7-0 in the Big 12 is a tough one. Like we just mentioned, the Big 12's tough, and just completely handled West Virginia. Held them to 34% shooting. That's crazy
Hard to
to
win
have
games like that.
That's strong tough. And that suffocating of a defense. That's a really good game.
That's tough.
We got to move through these quicker. We got a lot of topics.
You guys got anything else on Arizona beating West Virginia?
I hope they lose tonight.
All right. Well, UConn.
I'm not surprised.
UConn, really tough one. This was really fun. If you guys missed this game, this was a really fun one to watch. UConn, overtime thriller, beat Villanova 75-67 in overtime. They remain number 2. They're 19-1, 9-0 in the Big East, and extend their winning streak now to where they've won 15 in a row, almost as good as 20 in a row. But
Nebraska's won 24 in a row now.
Alex Caravan scored all 17 of his points in the second half in overtime. So that was, just when you need your star player to step up and do something, he comes out and does it. And then with Villanova, so they ended up hitting 10 3-pointers, but then they went scoreless from the field all in all over the final 4:48 of overtime.
Yeah, that's what really separates good teams, though. Like the top teams is that overtime right there. Like when it's crunch time, like when you have to make something happen, they found a way to do it. And that's respectably, why they're probably ranked number 2, although I don't agree with it. But it makes, that's what good teams do. That's the makeup of a good team.
Yeah. Yeah, UConn was just able to stay strong down the stretch.
Yeah, UConn was just all gas, no brakes. I mean, especially when it came down to overtime. I mean, you said it the best. It was an absolute thriller, and just being able to put big time numbers up on the board, especially when you know that there's not a whole bunch of time left. We either got to make it or we keep going to another OT or whatever they were to tie it. But tip of my cap to UConn. I mean, there's a reason why they're number 2, but I mean, still at the end of the day, you got to watch out for that big red because they're going to be coming.
All right, let's get into NFL. Because I feel like the playoffs this year, I don't know about you guys, I feel like the playoffs have been really exciting and just they're down to the wire, which you could say is because it's rigged. It's just really competitive games and I don't know, it's been a lot of fun. If it's rigged, it's drawn me in because it's been a lot of fun. How about a huge Snow Bowl going on yesterday in New England?
Yeah.
That was so fun. And it just felt like without Bo Nix in there, the Broncos couldn't get anything going. And it's hard to sit here and discredit Jarrett Stidham for that performance because it was snowy and neither quarterback really did anything spectacular, which is the total opposite of what happened in the next game we're going to talk about. But it was just... I personally love watching defensive games, and that was a really defensive game mixed with snow. And it was a lot of fun to watch, but the Patriots ended up winning 10-7 in a true thriller in that game.
It had a big playoff. It really felt like a big playoff game, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, really,
It
both of
felt
these
like
games felt that way.
a
It was
playoff
just,
game
yeah,
both of
for
them really
sure.
did.
that one felt like, man, it's just if you've ever played football in the snow, it's just like people who don't play football or never played football, they're like, oh man, I don't know how you guys could do that, but that's like the best. With snow, wet and rainy, where you're sliding around on the field, like just getting dirty and just like that's just like it makes it feel more like a man's sport when
Until
you're
you get to the
sitting out there.
but then you get in the locker room and your ass is chapped.
Yeah, I mean
The
that
worst.
happens anyways.
Yeah.
But no, it is so much fun. After the game, yeah, you're hurting a little bit more, but during the game, like there's like you're not cold. We go out there. I mean, I know Britton and I have played where it's like, screw it, we're not wearing long sleeves underneath. We're not wearing long johns. We're going out here and doing it. So it's just there's something different about playing it and watching it. I thought that game was so fun. And then on top of it, this is Mike Vrabel's first year with the Patriots too, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's wild.
So how about just a huge, big old suck it to the Titans?
Yeah.
You want to get rid of me for whoever it is that you want to pick up? I mean, they're going to go on to their third coach now, I think, since he's left. So just it's so awesome to see him do so well. And then with Drake May, his second season in the NFL. And then, of course, we're going to get to the Rams Seahawks game, but just the rematch of you should have ran Marshawn Lynch, but instead Russell Wilson throws an interception to end the game. Or it was Russell Wilson threw the interception, right? So just so fun to watch. I mean, I thought that game was really fun, really exciting, down to the wire. It just felt like it just takes one special teams play. It felt like it's going to take something. I know that Sean Payton kind of spoke on it. He kind of regretted going for it on 4th and 1 from the 14 in the second quarter instead of kicking the field goal. Ultimately ends up biting you in the tail, but hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You look at you got the first things first. You definitely have to give some credit to the Denver Broncos fans for thinking that it's going to be a no snowy game, and then all of a sudden the second half kicked in. Then Mother Nature said, "Watch this," and she definitely flipped the script on that one. But I mean, it was a really really exciting game for a defensive battle. I can't say that, but I mean, I know if I was Stenham, I would be just so. I wouldn't say I'd be so depressed, but I mean, you gotta think of how much time that you've had to prepare. I mean, yeah, you get snaps, like, but not in a game time situation or actually live snaps during the middle of the game.
And the biggest game of the season, like this
Yeah,
is
no
either
pressure.
you either go to the Super Bowl or go home and watch somebody else play in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, no pressure.
You got a lot of money for playing one game, though.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean,
we should do the
against that
breakdown.
paycheck.
We should figure it out. Do the breakdown of per snap. How much did he get paid per snap? That's always fun to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah. Honestly,
Aaron Rodgers probably has the biggest pay per snap.
I feel like the Bronco fans, though, were realistic with themselves. Hopefully, did anybody think the Broncos were going to win after you find out your star quarterback's out?
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
It was an incredible game. Your defense held you in it.
Yeah, I think with Bo Nix, that game looks different. I really do.
Well, and the Patriots ended up owning time of possession. I was looking it up. Owning time of possession, 33 minutes to 26, almost 27 minutes. But what I thought was crazy was that I would have expected in a game like that being so tight, the turnover margin is what's going to win it. And the Broncos defense gave the offense the ball back twice, and the offense wasn't giving it up. It's just that they couldn't get down and score. I feel like in a game like that, especially with it being snowy, you got to have a better run game, and it just felt like they couldn't get anything going consistently enough on the run game. So, ultimately, I'm excited for the Patriots. I'm glad. I feel like it feels easier to be happy for the Patriots now that Tom Brady's not there with Bill Belichick. Like,
yeah,
I like Tom Brady.
It's been a while since they've been there, so it's just easier to see them in it. And I never really hated Tom Brady. I just hate seeing the same teams and the same players win it over and over and over again. I want to see some
the same
parity.
conversation if the Chiefs were in it.
Yeah, exactly. But let's talk about the Rams. This one, man, goodness gracious, literally 2 feet away from a possibility of being able to throw a Hail Mary to win the game.
Yeah.
just a foot and a half. So just such a crazy game, came down to the wire. And just like in the Indiana-Miami game for the national championship, special teams screw you over. The Rams have that muffed punt, and then right after that, the Seahawks get a touchdown. I know that later on there was another similar situation where the Seahawks, I forget who it was, but their player goes over, kind of chirps at the Rams sideline and gets a 15-yard penalty when it would have been 4th down and 15 or 4th down and 12. Automatic first down. Next play, Puka Nacua touchdown from Matthew Stafford. So just I don't know. This is really cool. I'm happy for him. I just hate to see Sam Darnold make it to a Super Bowl before Baker Mayfield.
Yeah. Honestly, I think this year, like football in general, like you mentioned, the special teams, like I've always been really big because I'm a Nebraska fan and I've seen it time and time again, how important special teams is. Yeah. Like all the way down to from punting to field goals to kickoffs, kickoff return, punt return, kickoff coverage, punt coverage, like every detail in special teams matters so much. And you saw it in this game for sure. You saw it in the Miami, Indiana game for sure. Like, man, that's an eye opener. Like teams with the best special teams, like have a better chance of winning. Like, oh, shocker. Like that's a part of the game too. But that's what really good teams do, right? That's what the teams that win the Super Bowl do. They focus on the special teams as much as they focus on the offense and as much as they focus on the defense, because it's just as big of a part of the game. And sometimes when your offense is struggling, it can give you that boost that you needed, or vice versa. So, for a team to put that much emphasis and focus on special teams and for it to work out in a big game like this is really telling of how important special teams is.
Yeah, absolutely. But
100%.
I mean, hey, I haven't said it yet, so I got to cut me some slack. But I mean, oh man, but I mean, just being able to watch that game, the defensive battle was absolutely crazy. But if there's one particular player that I do at least want to give some, I know it's probably a big time relief off of his shoulders to finally be able to make a Super Bowl. It's Stephon Diggs. I mean, you got to think about all the times that he's came up so short when you see them play against the Kansas City Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl. But obviously being on the other end, the short end of the stick, and now I know that's a big time relief, I should say, off of Stephon Diggs' shoulders. But
is Stephon playing? I thought he had some kind of criminal charges against him. Is he playing? I didn't pay attention.
I believe he is playing, but
because he plays for the Patriots now, doesn't he?
Yeah, now he's with the Patriots.
I forget about that, but
yeah, I'd have to look into that.
Didn't mean to pull you off. He is playing.
Yeah, but I mean, just looking at everything that's occurred, I mean, Matthew Stafford is still one of the great quarterbacks, obviously for the Rams, just for the sport in general. I mean, you just see what he did throughout the entire game. Then I've seen a couple of videos on social media after the game when he actually got home to his family, then being able to just hug his children, and just that was definitely a heart-touching moment for Matthew Stafford, then just knowing he gave everything that he got. But I mean, still, this Super Bowl is definitely going to be one to remember, just because there's so many different implications. I mean, you don't see these teams nowhere near, like, say, the Kansas City Chiefs or Buffalo Bills, for example. I'm spitting off teams here, but I mean, it's definitely something exciting to see, especially for a rematch, because it's been a little bit since we've seen these two teams play each other, especially in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I wonder how many people, like at the beginning of the year, would have picked either of these teams to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, probably not many.
I could see there being some, like, talk about the Patriots, coming back and having a really good season, but I mean, I didn't see them going to the Super Bowl, and I could say the same about the Seahawks.
Yeah, no, I definitely wouldn't. I mean, I think there was a little bit of hype for either team just because of some of the new pieces and stuff, but I don't think anybody really would have picked either of them. But
especially the Patriots with the first time head coach.
Yeah,
like that's not something that I had on my bingo card.
I see in the chat too that 316 sucks says Sam Darnold should win the Super Bowl for who his grandpa is. Have you guys heard about that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have.
vaguely heard something today.
His grandpa, his name was Dick Hammer, and I had to look him up again to see exactly what he did. But his grandpa is Dick Hammer, record holder for the University of Rhode Island. Let's see, yeah, Rhode Island. He
I
played
think we
for.
were
I
talking about
think it
that
was
on Friday night.
yeah. His grandpa's name was Dick Hammer. Who cares what he did? He's got a
Yeah.
cool name. But no,
Yeah.
I like that he brought that up because I forgot. But all right, real quick. Super Bowl preview, just real quick, an early prediction, whatever you want to call it, which we might change our predictions to when we actually prep for this a little bit more. But it's going to be Super Bowl 60 on Sunday, February 8th at, I guess it's 6:30 Eastern time, I think, right? Or 6:30. Yeah, I think 6:30 Eastern time. Anyways, going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be in Santa Clara, California, which kind of favors the Seahawks just a little bit, but at least it's not in their home stadium.
That's true.
But yeah, I think this is really fun. So like I said, it's kind of that rematch of the Patriots getting the interception and
The dumbest play in Super Bowl history.
yeah, just run the damn ball. You've got Marshawn Lynch. You've got Beast Mode, and a guy that was nicknamed Beast Mode in the backfield, and you didn't hand the ball off for a yard. So
Biggest mistake of his career.
Yeah, so huge. And then I mean, talk about rigged. I think Russell Wilson should have been investigated by the FBI for sure.
Yeah,
but it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you look at young quarterback Drake May with first year head coach. I believe I might be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure first year head coach and Mike Vrabel. Turning around, what they were 4-13 last year. The Patriots were. And Vrabel turned them around to this. Now, they got a lot of extra pieces and stuff to kind of help out, but really, really cool to see that. And then Mike McDaniel, it's only his second year with the Seahawks. So a really quick turnaround there, too. And it's going to be really cool. It's going to be a really fun matchup. I'm happy for these two teams. I mean, it's like we've been kind of beating a dead horse with it. It really is a deep league this year, and it shows with these two teams making it because it's two teams that you don't see typically on a year-to-year basis here as of recent be up there towards the top. For them to turn it around and make it all the way to the Super Bowl, really fun. I think last I was looking, the Seahawks are currently 4.5-point favorites. Jeremy, I'll start off with you. What's your pick? What's your early pick? Of course, you can change it later on if we end up kind of looking into it and doing our research. But what's your early pick here for the Super Bowl?
Looking at my early pick here, I think it's going to be a nail biter, I have to say. But come down to the clutch time situation, I got to give it to Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks here, especially trying to swallow the biggest pill for what their last mistake was in a Super Bowl situation. But I mean, just being able to have that, I wouldn't necessarily experience, but just experience as in the NFL compared to Drake May, and knowing when it comes down to big time situations and implications, especially like the Super Bowl, I think that will give Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks at least a little bit of advantage. But I wouldn't be surprised if New England comes by and surprises a lot of these people and give them a run for their money.
Britton?
Yeah, I think anytime you're talking about a 4.5 point in the NFL, like that's basically saying flip a coin. I mean, that's a one score game. To me right now, like early, I'd have to go with the Patriots. I think the Patriots can pull this off. I think Drake May's, I think he's ready for this moment. I think he's shown it throughout the playoffs so far. I think he's ready for this big moment. And that'll play a big factor into it too. Like, you don't know if you're ready until you're there. That's when you find out, are you ready? You can put the pads on, but when the lights turn on and you're standing on the field, like that's when you really find out if you're ready for a moment, as astronomical as the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Well, and I agree with you. I think the Patriots, and then you think about it too. I don't know what the weather will be like in Santa Clara in early February.
A lot warmer than here.
I guarantee it's going to be warmer than New England this past weekend.
That's only good for New England, isn't it? Like, they're getting out of the cold. They're happy.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been depressed all winter.
It's going to be chilly, but it's going to be so much better. It's going to be like a nice spring day for
Is
New
it
England.
Indoors?
No, it's at the San Francisco 49ers field. So
it's at the 49ers. That's right.
Levi Stadium. So I'm
from
with
what
Britton.
it shows. So I'm going to cut
Sorry,
you off, Josh.
go
I had
ahead.
to look it up really quick. It shows partial cloudy skies, a high near 69 degrees, and a low of 49.
Yeah,
That's my favorite temperature.
That's like a summer day in New England. So yeah, I like the Patriots too. I like Drake May a lot. They've added a lot of pieces. I've always liked Mike Vrabel. I thought it was really stupid when the Titans fired him. Right now I'm leaning Patriots. We'll see. We'll see if any of us end up changing our minds at all. But yeah, 4.5 points. You're right, Britton. It's not that big of a difference. That's a one score, which seems like every game has come down to one score. So if you can spell rigged, RIGGD, then it's rigged. So
yeah,
I think it's going to be a really fun Super Bowl. I'm glad. I'm happy to see these two teams. I'm interested to see how it all shapes out.
Anytime it's Super Bowl, it's a good time.
Yeah,
100%.
But make sure to get your
there it is.
make sure to get all of your
slip once.
make sure to get all of your Super Bowl plans ready to roll. It's going to be a really fun, I guess really boring couple weeks because we're going to have to wait for the Super Bowl now. But can't wait for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Appreciate everybody tuning in for our live show, first live show since regrouping and rebranding, kind of rejoining here on the new channel and everything. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share us with a friend. Sharing is caring. So you can always find everything we do over at rising2.com. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, all that fun stuff. So go check us out over there to keep up with the show and so much more. We're live every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's 8:30 Eastern. Make sure to join us again next Monday for our live show. And of course, stay tuned into the channel all throughout the week as we try to pump out as much content as we possibly can with our busy lives. But appreciate everybody so much for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.